YouTube is popping. It's your boy El Jefe for the 2026 right here on YouTube via Stream. My life is what I made it. I can't love it. I can't hate it. Simply, I'm just gonna take it and live it day by day. Accept it for what it is, for what it's worth. Accept the cards life is dealt. Put them in order, high to low, low to high, never fold. That's the motto. It's like that. It's Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Football, lunes con DT. We in La Casa. Pull up and shut up. But we here. We here right now. Pull up. We here. Pull up. YouTube is popping. It's your boy GT in the building. We got one person in the building. Can I get one of y'all smash that like, share me out, get me out there in the world. Let me kick in the door on the algorithm. It's your boy GT and La Casa. Wild Out Lunes. We right here. We ain't going nowhere. Type shit. We are the world. Got it going busy. Down there busy.
The motherfucking rank, nigga. Yeah. The real GD fact, say the name with respect. Pressure in my presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the room, they just tryna contest. The real GD fact, do authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move, still can copy the squad. When you speak about the real, better mention who in charge. Came up with a siren, sing lullabies at night. Learn quick how to hustle, how to move, how to fight. Wasn't born with a spoon, had to grind for a bite. Now my wind stack tall like the city skyline lights. I was broke, but my vision never lacked, though. They laughed at the dream, now they clap, though. Use pain as fuel, that's the gas flow, Turn losses to lessons with a back door. 10 toes in the storm, never folded. Heart cold, but the ambition golden. They was chasing validation, I was chosen. Self-made, every chapter I wrote it. I don't flex for the net, I'm official. Every move precise, beneficial. If you real, you can tell by the ritual. No gimmicks in my game, it's habitual. They talk loud, but it's hollow inside. I move quiet, let the result decide. When I step, it's a shift in the vibe. You can see who the real, who just long for the ride. The real GD factual, say the name with respect. Pressure in my presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the room, they just tryna contest. The real GD factual, authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move, still can copy the squad. When you speak about the real, better mention who in charge. Yeah. Yo, the motherfucking rank, nigga. Yeah. The real GD fact, say the name with respect. Pressure in my presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the room, they just tryna contest. The real GD5 do authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move, still can copy the squad. When you speak about the real, better mention who in charge. Came up with a siren, sing lullabies at night. Learn quick how to hustle, how to move, how to fight. Wasn't born with a spoon, had to grind for a bite. Now my wind stacked tall like the city skyline lights. I was broke, but my vision never lacked, though. They laughed at the dream, now they clap, though. Use pain as fuel, that's the gas flow. Turn losses to lessons with a back door. 10 toes in the storm, never folded. Heart cold, but the ambition golden. They was chasing validation, I was chosen. Self-made, every chapter I wrote it. I don't flex for the net, I'm official. A move, precise, beneficial. If you real, you can tell by the ritual. No gimmicks in my game, it's habitual. They talk loud, but it's hollow inside. I move quiet, let the result decide. When I step, it's a shift in the vibe. You can see who the real, who just long for the ride. The real GD Patrick, say the name with respect. Pressure in my presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the room, they just tryna contest. The real GD Fat, you authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move, still can copy the squad. When you speak about the real, better mention who in charge. Yeah.
Yeah, we in the building, y'all. We right here. It's your boy G Tizzle in the building for the 2026. Right here on YouTube. What's everybody got going on? What's everybody got going on in the Valley sector? Y'all seen what's going on in the Austin sector? Y'all seen what's going on the East Coast? Did y'all hear what happened on the West Coast? Let's give y'all some breaking news. Breaking news.
You should tell the story about the Cup 1107.
I ain't giving them clout.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Dangerous. So what's going on?
Oh wait, where did you go?
Let's see. This. We got war. It's war times. Come on, Americans. I thought we are Americans. Let's see what General Dan has to say. Mr. General Dan.
Fighters, tankers, airborne early warning, electronic attack, bombers from the states, and unmanned platforms forming a single synchronized wave. This was a daylight strike based on a trigger event conducted by the Israeli Defense Forces, enabled by the U.S. intelligence community. The first shooters at sea were Tomahawks unleashed by the United States Navy, closed in on Iranian naval forces, and began to conduct strikes across the southern flank in Iran. On the ground, forces fired precision standoff weapons, measured, deliberate, precise, and lethal. This was a massive, overwhelming attack across all domains of warfare, striking more than 1,000 targets in the first 24 hours. We are now roughly 57 hours into the operation. In the initial phase, CENTCOM's focus was systematic targeting of Iranians' command and control infrastructure, naval forces.
He said they hit over 1,000 targets in 24
and
hours.
Intelligence infrastructure designed to daze and confuse them. Coordinated space and cyber operations effectively disrupted communications and sensor networks across the area of responsibility, leaving the adversary without the ability to see, coordinate, or respond effectively. The combined impact of these strikes, swift, precise, and overwhelming, has resulted in the establishment of local air superiority. This air superiority will not only enhance the protection of our forces, but also allow them to continue the work over Iran. Over the course of the last 2 days, the Joint Force has launched hundreds of missions from land and sea and delivered tens of thousands of pieces of ordnance. The effort continues to scale. This included American B-2 bombers, which again, similar to Midnight Hammer, flew a 37-hour round-trip sortie from the continental United States, dropping precision, penetrating munitions on Iranian underground facilities across the southern flank and slightly deeper. Additionally, Israel has separately executed hundreds of sorties against hundreds of targets. Beyond Air Force and Navy aircraft strike packages, coordinated salvos of precision standoff weapons from across the region have neutralized hundreds of pre-planned targets. As I mentioned earlier, in support of these kinetic operations, U.S. Cybercom and Spacecom have continuously layered effects to disrupt, disorient, and confuse the enemy.
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
Now you see how the general just spoke, right? How that admiral, like that general top commander right there, how he talks. And you just heard how Donald Trump talks. Like he doesn't really care. There's a difference. There's difference in the literature.
We are taking you live now, though, to the US, where Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is currently delivering an address.
Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, across the CENTCOM AOR, our leadership and troops, as you would expect, doing a fantastic job. 2 days ago, under the direction and direct orders of President Donald J. Trump, the Department of War launched Operation Epic Fury, the most lethal, most complex, and most precise aerial operation in history. For 47 long years, the expansionist and Islamist regime in Tehran has waged a savage, one-sided war against America. They didn't always declare it openly, except for their constant chants of death to America. They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan. funded and armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carry the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult. It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons. It's common sense. Many have said it, but it takes guts to actually enforce it, and our president has guts. Iran's stubborn and self-evident nuclear pursuits, their targeting of global shipping lanes, and their swelling arsenal of ballistic missiles and killer drones are no longer tolerable risks. Iran was building powerful missiles and drones to create a conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Let me say that again. A conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Our bases, our people, our allies, all in their crosshairs. Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb. It almost worked under Obama and his terrible deal, but not under this president. Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it. Today, in their desperation, the enemy is unmasked as Iranian missiles and drones rain down indiscriminately on the hotels, airports, apartments, and other civilian targets of their neighbors. Cowardly terrorist tactics from a regime that for decades has trafficked in cowardly terrorist tactics, lies, death, and destruction to this day. The Iranian leadership has built nothing except proxies and missiles and drones and deeply buried nuclear factories and facilities. Peaceful nuclear ambitions do not need to be buried underneath mountains. Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, that's it, now make a deal. They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it, and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it. I was there. They tried over and over and over again earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know. President Trump puts America and Americans first. He doesn't hesitate, and neither do our troops. The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons. We're hitting them surgically, overwhelmingly, and unapologetically. With every passing day, our capabilities get stronger and Iran's get weaker. We set the terms of this war from start to finish. Our ambitions are not utopian. They are realistic, scoped to our interests and the defense of our people and our allies. Speaking of people, we hope the Iranian people take advantage of this incredible opportunity. President Trump has been clear, now is your time. To Iranian security forces, choose wisely. President Trump has also been clear about your fate in either direction. To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes. Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners, as we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force. America, regardless of what so-called international institutions say, is unleashing the most lethal and precise air power campaign in history. B-2s, fighters, drones, missiles, and of course, classified effects. All on our terms, with maximum authorities. No stupid rules of engagement, no nation-building quagmire, no democracy-building exercise, no politically correct wars. We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be. A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured. The absolute best of America. May we prosecute the remainder of this operation in a manner that honors them. No apologies, no hesitation, epic fury for them and the thousands of Americans before them, taken too soon by Iranian radicals. Before I turn it over to General Kane for the operational update, let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris, my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be: focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First conditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else's, as it should be. And know this above all, President Trump and I have your back, always. Through fire, through criticism, through fake news, through everything. We unleash you because you are the best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. May Almighty God watch over you and his providential arms of protection extend over you. Godspeed, warriors, and keep going.
U.S. forces turning Iran's own drone playbook against them, deploying Iranian-inspired kamikaze drones for the first time in combat. It was all part of rare daytime strike, taking down senior leaders in Tehran, including its supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane, joins us now. General, thank you for joining us. We've seen the videos from CENTCOM of this, the first 24 hours. It was a bold target package.
We are taking you live now, though, to the US, where Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is currently delivering an address.
Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, across the CENTCOM.
New strikes across Tehran tonight as the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran is expanding, systematically destroying Iran's military, blowing up its missiles, and killing its leaders. President Trump saying it could last 4 to 5 weeks.
We will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay.
The Pentagon today announcing it's sending more troops and fighter jets to join the operation, which President Trump launched at 3:38 p.m. on Friday.
The president directed, and I quote, "Operation Epic Fury is approved. No aborts. Good luck," close quote.
But the war is also spreading to new countries with new risks. In Saudi Arabia, drones targeting the U.S. embassy in the capital, Riyadh, a fire breaking out there. A Saudi official telling NBC News there were no injuries. In Kuwait, 3 U.S. fighter jets were shot down and seen plummeting from the sky. The Pentagon said it was friendly fire, that the jets were hit by Kuwaiti missile defense systems. The crews all ejected and survived. In this video, you can see a parachute on the ground and what appears to be an American pilot in the back of an SUV, looking healthy but rattled, as the Pentagon announced at least 6 American service members have been killed. The Pentagon saying it now has total air superiority over Iran, allowing the U.S. to hunt down the missile launchers Iran is using to carry out attacks, including against Israel, where an Iranian missile made it through air defenses this morning. Prime Minister Netanyahu touring a town where 9 Israelis were killed by another Iranian strike. Iran is not just hitting Israel, but multiple Arab countries. Iranian fighter jets attacked Qatar, but were shot down, according to the Qatari military. In Bahrain, Iranian drones hitting residential high-rise buildings. In Kuwait, the international airport damaged by an Iranian drone strike. And tonight, Iran targeting Saudi Arabia, with damage seen in these oil fields. The Washington Post reporting over the past month, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has urged President Trump to attack Iran, according to 4 people familiar with the matter. And we've learned the U.S. and Israeli strikes were launched on Saturday because intelligence showed Iran's supreme leader would be at a meeting of senior officials that morning, according to 2 sources briefed on the matter. In addition to Ayatollah Khamenei, the U.S. says 49 leaders from the Iranian regime have been killed. Iran has not confirmed all of the deaths.
We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot.
While inside Iran, officials say a girls' school was hit this weekend with dozens killed. The U.S. says it's investigating. There have been demonstrations supporting the Iranian regime, but also Iranians celebrating the death of the Ayatollah, his government deeply unpopular among many Iranians, all as President Trump laid out the objectives of the U.S. mission.
We're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis. Second, we're annihilating their Navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders.
President Trump saying Iran walked away from negotiations, but a senior negotiator directly involved tells NBC News talks were making progress and were scheduled to resume. For now, no U.S. ground troops appear to be involved, although the Pentagon is not ruling them out.
This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. We'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests, but we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
While Secretary of State Rubio suggesting this operation is about to intensify.
The hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military.
Richard and his team join us live tonight from a bombed-out building there in Tel Aviv. And Richard, Israel and U.S. forces still very much on alert tonight as Iran continues to fire. And now there's a new warning tonight from the State Department.
There is, Tom. Good evening. This building was hit by an Iranian missile. One woman was killed. And you can see that even with the risk, even with ongoing attacks against this city, construction crews are here clearing away debris. And the State Department just a short while ago issued a warning to American citizens to evacuate from 14 countries in the Middle East, including Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt.
Richard Engel with that new warning tonight. Richard, we thank you. And we're learning more about how this military operation unfolded and where it's going from here. Our senior national security correspondent, Courtney Cubey, joins us live now. And Courtney, you have details about President Trump giving the military the final order to proceed?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. The first wave of strikes began with Tomahawks fired from Navy ships and long-range precision munitions fired from aircraft outside Iran, taking out air defenses and paving the way for manned aircraft. Next up, B-1 and B-2 bombers began flying in, striking hardened underground missile sites and vertical silos with huge bombs to penetrate deep underground. Over 1,200 targets already hit. President Trump saying a big wave is still to come, and while officials won't speculate, one possibility remains the nuclear program, which so far has not been struck. One U.S. official said the goal of the operation is to hit hard and overwhelm Iran as quickly as possible, ideally in weeks, not months. Tom?
All right, Courtney, thank you. Now to the White House, where the Trump administration is defending its decision to attack Iran amid Democratic criticism. Gabe Gutierrez joins us now live from the White House. And Gabe, Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking to lawmakers late tonight?
Yeah, Tom. Secretary Rubio saying there was absolutely an imminent threat to justify this operation. He argues that the Trump administration knew Israel was preparing to strike Iran, and that if the U.S. had waited for Iran to retaliate, Americans would have suffered higher casualties. Still, there has been mixed messaging here. Rubio and Hegseth saying today that regime change is not the goal, although the administration would like to see it happen. Those comments coming after President Trump urged Iranian protesters who recently faced a brutal government crackdown to take to the streets again and topple the regime. Rubio and other top officials expected to continue briefing Congress tomorrow. Tom?
All right, Gabe, our thanks to you. And tensions are high once again across the Gulf tonight, with several countries targeted by Iranian attacks, including Dubai, where our Keir Simmons is reporting tonight.
Tonight's conflict is spiraling and spreading to Iraq, Lebanon, and as Gulf countries threaten to join this growing war. Iran targeting major cities in the Middle East with hundreds of missiles and drones, including this one in Bahrain. First the buzz, then the blast. Dubai's iconic hotels hit, many Iranian munitions still being shot down today. Here, a burst of smoke beside the world's tallest building, and the moment of impact, another hotel.
And I just heard this really loud bang.
Alex Bouquet, who runs an American firm, fled to an Airbnb in the desert.
We grabbed our passports as well, and we just started driving off.
This was Dubai Airport over the weekend and nearby Abu Dhabi. Thankfully, passengers have been evacuated. Thousands of flights cancelled in a region that is a critical hub for the world's commercial airlines. Sarah Metty from Tennessee is in Dubai for her 20th wedding anniversary. She found herself filming munitions exploding outside their hotel.
What are you thinking when you're filming this?
That I've got to be in a dream. This can't be real. I never in a million years thought this would happen.
They've been urged to stay inside.
home?
I just want to get home to the kids. Like, I miss them terribly.
Iran's objective in all this, to pressure its neighbors, to tell Washington, call off the war.
And this is far from over. Keir Simmons joins us live from Dubai. And Keir, I'm being told there are now new attacks in Dubai tonight.
That's right, Tom. I just heard a series of loud booms echo across this city. Another barrage of missiles from Iran. Tom, tens of thousands of Americans live in this region. Tom?
Keir Simmons, please stay safe tonight. There is also a new threat from Iran around the critical Strait of Hormuz, where much of the world's oil passes through, with implications for the prices you pay at the pump. Christine Romans is here tonight, and Christine, Iran with a very serious threat.
Yeah, and Tom,
Christine Romans is here tonight, and Christine, Iran with a very serious threat.
Yeah, and Tom, what happens to oil prices?
World's oil passes through with.
Shout out to the Wawa, you heard? We got Wawa on the screen, you heard?
Implications for the prices you pay at the pump. Christine Romans is here tonight, and Christine, Iran with a very serious threat.
Yeah, and Tom, what happens to oil prices depends on what happens here in the Strait of Hormuz. It's a narrow waterway where about 20% of global oil passes through. And tonight, Iranian state media is saying Iran will set fire to any ship trying to pass through here. You can already see shipping there at a virtual standstill. Oil prices jump today, and every dollar that oil prices rise translates to about 2.5 cents for a gallon of gas. That means, for example, $10 spike in oil, 25 cents at the pump, and American wallets are already feeling this, Tom, these surging oil prices. The national average for a gallon of regular gas today topping $3. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the administration anticipated this and will announce steps to mitigate it tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see what that plan is all about. Christine, thank you. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on.
We are taking.
All right, we had to cut into this break. Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking on the Hill. Let's listen
The
in.
United States conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act. Going back to the purpose of this is to destroy that missile capability. Why does Iran want that ballistic missile capability? What they are trying to do and have been trying to do for a very long time is build a conventional weapons capability as a shield where they can hide behind. Meaning, there would come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and it can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear program. That is what they were trying to do, is put themselves in a place of immunity where the damage they can inflict on the region would be so high that no one can do anything about their nuclear program or their nuclear ambitions. They are producing, by some estimates, over 100 of these missiles a month. Compare that to the 6 or 7 interceptors that can be built a month. They can build 100 of these a month, not to mention the thousands of one-way attack drones that they also have. They've been doing this for a very long time, and by the way, they've been doing it under sanction. You see the attacks they're conducting right now? They're attacking airports, they're attacking hotels, they're hitting not just military bases, they're attacking our embassies directly, they're attacking facilities that have nothing to do with war or with military, and that's a weakened Iran. That's in Iran despite years of sanction. Imagine a year from now or a year and a half from now, the capabilities they would have to inflict damage on us. It's an unacceptable risk, especially in the hands of a regime that's run by radical clerics. The Ayatollah was a radical cleric. That entire regime is led by radical clerics who don't make geopolitical decisions. They make decisions on the basis of theology, their view of theology, which is an apocalyptic one. That has to be taken very seriously as well. So that was the purpose for what this operation is all about. That's what it's focused on. As the president said earlier today, it is on or ahead of schedule. I will defer to the Department of War to discuss the progress being made at a tactical level, but it was the right decision and an important decision for the safety and security of the world.
Does Congress have to weigh in? Is the president defending war? And does Congress have to weigh in? And
what
I would definitely
February 22nd, 2026. Early morning, Mexico, Jalisco Highlands, Tapalpa District. Helicopters above the tree line. Armored vehicles sealing every road. Special forces moving uphill through fog, weapons drawn. Behind a stone compound, the man the United States valued at $15 million. 40 seconds from now, the first shots. Right now, silence.
Radio confirms. Target on site.
The order comes. Automatic gunfire. Heavy weapons tearing through stone. Return fire from inside. Then, a body on a stretcher.
Target neutralized.
The most wanted man in Mexico is dying. He used to be a cop, a local police officer in Jalisco. Then he switched sides, built one of the most violent cartels in modern Mexican history, left victims hanging from bridges as public warnings, set cities on fire, attacked the army with rocket launchers, flooded America with fentanyl. They put $15 million on his head. Sent soldiers for years, never got him. Every raid, he was already gone, until this afternoon. This time, nobody warned him. His name was Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, El Mencho. His death would not end anything. The war for his empire was about to begin before his body reached Mexico City. How does a police officer become the most hunted man on 2 continents? It starts with a uniform and a list of names he was never supposed to keep. Jalisco, Mexico, 1993. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes joins the local police. It's not a career, it's an education. He sees which officers sell information to cartels, which commanders get paid to delay raids, which roads stay open because someone up the chain needs them open. He quits. Weeks later, he's inside the Milenio cartel, a trafficking operation moving cocaine and methamphetamine through western Mexico. Lowest level, guarding shipments, running plazas where a wrong decision gets you killed by your own side. His police background gives him something no other cartel soldier has. He knows how raids are planned, which channels are tapped, and where the system stops looking. He rises fast. Then he starts doing something that will get him killed if anyone notices. Inside the Milenio cartel, he recruits, quietly, a collector who owes him, an enforcer who trusts him more than leadership, a lieutenant who picks up his calls first. One wrong conversation and the bosses find out. In an organization that executes men for disloyalty, what he's building is a death sentence the moment it's discovered. He keeps building anyway. When the Milenio cartel fractures, arrests, internal disputes, rival pressure, the structure collapses. He doesn't collapse with it. Steps forward, takes his people, takes the territory, takes every route he memorized from the inside. The Jalisco New Generation cartel is born. Within 5 years, it will hang bodies from bridges, shoot down military helicopters, and flood America with the deadliest drug in history. But first, it needs to announce itself. Guadalajara, Mexico, 2011. At first, nobody takes CJNG seriously, one of dozens of groups fighting over scraps. That changes the morning commuters find bodies hanging from a highway overpass, notes pinned to the corpses. Signed, CJNG. His first strongholds, Jalisco and neighboring states, key corridors for cocaine and methamphetamine. He builds collection networks, distribution chains, and route security across multiple states. Business owners pay tribute or vanish. Violent warning videos start appearing on social media, all clearly linked to the cartel. Victims are left in public places as messages. Entire families disappear overnight. When rivals push into CJNG territory, the response is large-scale reprisals. Violent scenes staged where they're certain to be seen, filmed, and shared across every phone in the region. CJNG expands. Michoacán, Colima, Guanajuato, Veracruz. Same method everywhere. Destroy local gangs, corrupt officials, establish control over ports and transit zones. Then El Mencho makes the move that puts his name on desks in Washington. He pivots the cartel toward mass production of fentanyl. Cocaine made cartels rich. Fentanyl is a different equation. Cheaper materials, faster production, profit margins that dwarf anything in the history of drug trafficking. Tens of thousands of Americans dying from overdoses every year. And the demand is accelerating. El Mencho controls the full chain. laboratories, transport, distribution into the U.S., CJNG becomes a rival to the Sinaloa cartel in revenue, territory, and firepower. Two empires, one country, not enough room. El Mencho is about to do something no cartel leader has done before: declare open war on the Mexican state. Jalisco, Mexico, May 1st, 2015. CJNG doesn't just fight rivals, it fights the state. The cartel ambushes military convoys with rocket-propelled grenades, attacks police with .50 caliber rifles, deploys armored vehicles against the armed forces, fires on military helicopters. May 1st, 2015. A military helicopter flies low over rural Jalisco, part of a convoy hunting CJNG leadership. From the tree line, a rocket-propelled grenade. Direct hit. The helicopter spins, drops, explodes on impact. 8 soldiers and a police officer dead. The deadliest single attack on Mexican security forces in decades. The government sends more troops. CJNG responds by blockading Guadalajara, Mexico's second-largest city. 39 buses hijacked and torched in a single afternoon. Traffic frozen. The city held hostage. The message: you cannot touch us without consequences. They hijack trucks, park them across highways, set them on fire. Cities shut down, schools close, airports cancel flights. People stay locked inside, watching black smoke rise through their windows. When authorities arrest CJNG members, the response is immediate. Police officers vanish. Mayors get bullets. Officials who cooperate with investigators are found dead. In CJNG territory, the cartel becomes a parallel government. Businesses pay tribute or close. Young men join because there are no alternatives. The cartel provides money, order, purpose, and executes anyone who challenges it. And El Mencho stays invisible, changes locations constantly, communicates through intermediaries, never uses the same phone twice. His people inside the government, police, military, political offices, leak operational plans before soldiers receive briefings. Tens of thousands of Americans dying every year. One man at the center of the supply chain. Washington is about to put a price on his head that changes everything. Washington, D.C., March 2018. The DEA names El Mencho one of the most dangerous drug lords in the world. His cartel, primary supplier of the fentanyl, killing tens of thousands of Americans per year. Washington pushes Mexico City. The message is blunt. We need a leader, not mid-level operators, not warehouse seizures, a name that makes front pages. Mexico faces the same pressure from inside. Every failed operation makes the government look impotent. Both governments converge on one target: $15 million, the largest bounty ever placed on a Mexican cartel leader. The hunt begins. It will fail 3 times before it succeeds. Mexico, 2019 to 2025. Raids across the country. They seize tons of narcotics, massive arsenals, armored vehicles, cash. They arrest lieutenants, associates, relatives, not him. First near miss. October 2019, Jalisco countryside. Soldiers breach a compound. Warm food on plates, unmade beds, vehicle engine still hot. He'd been there that morning. The operation was compromised before the convoy left the base. Second near miss. August 2022. Mountain Ranch. Deeper in CJNG territory. Smaller team. Fewer people briefed. Fewer chances for leaks. Soldiers recover clothes, documents, equipment. But he was evacuated hours before. A military commander had delayed mobilization orders before releasing them. Third near miss. March 2024. Safe house from intercepted communications. The assault team moves fast. No delays, no advance briefing beyond the strike unit. Inside, bodyguards, weapons, signs of recent occupation. No El Mencho. He moved the previous night. The intercept was 12 hours old. Each arrest strips a layer of protection. Each seized phone narrows his options. He keeps disappearing. Every empty safe house, a headline. Every headline. Proof the system is failing. 3 raids, 3 failures, a leak, a delay, an outdated intercept. The system hunting him is riddled with the same corruption he exploited his entire career. But he's about to make the mistake that kills every fugitive. He's going home. Jalisco Highlands, February 2026. The picture sharpens through accumulation. Intercepted messages, arrested associates trading names, family members who slip, a call to the wrong number, a transaction that leaves a trace. El Mencho gravitates to the Jalisco Highlands near Tapalpa, the mountains where he grew up. Dense forest, limited roads, near perfect for a fugitive. But he's been going back too often. Predictability kills fugitives. Fewer safe locations, fewer trusted contacts, more of his inner circle arrested or dead. He once controlled a dozen states. Now he's in his home mountains with a shrinking ring of guards. Then, intelligence converges. A compound near Tapalpa. Movement patterns match previous sightings. Communication signals align with known CJNG protocols. Human sources confirm he's been there within the last 48 hours, possibly still there. Move too slowly, he vanishes. Brief too many people, the warning reaches him first. The plan? Speed. Helicopters. Armored vehicles. Mountain-trained special forces. One objective. Arrive before anyone can pick up a phone. No escape corridor. No second chances. February 22nd, 2026. Before dawn. The convoy moves. No advance briefing. No time for a warning call. For the first time in years, El Mencho doesn't know they're coming. February 22nd, 2026. Morning, Jalisco Highlands, Tapalpa. Inside the compound, quiet. Guards at positions, no alarm. Outside, cordon sealed, helicopters above. Ground units closing through trees. The silence breaks. A guard spots movement in the trees. Shouts. Automatic fire erupts from the compound walls. The bodyguard unit knows the math. They're not fighting to win, they're fighting to buy 60 seconds, enough for El Mencho to reach a vehicle, enough to open one gap in the cordon. Military returns fire, sustained, overwhelming. Rounds tear through stone walls. A guard drops, another. Inside, El Mencho moves toward the back exit. 2 men drag him. A third covers. He doesn't make it 10 meters. A bullet catches him mid-step. He falls. His men lift him, keep moving. Every road sealed. Helicopters overhead. No gap, no extraction, nowhere. They load him into an SUV. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere to drive. 3:12 p.m. He dies during transport. Mexico's defense ministry confirms. U.S. intelligence support acknowledged. Several cartel members killed, including El Mencho. Radio to command.
Target neutralized.
The most wanted man in Mexico is dead. The machine is not. February 22nd, 2026. Multiple states. Hours after the announcement, CJNG answers. Burning trucks block highways. Gunfire on police patrols. Airports shut. Schools closed. Black smoke on the horizon. They are not mourning. They are warning. Officially, the state won. On the ground, people are more afraid than before. He started as a cop. He ended on a stretcher in the mountains where he was born. Tonight, someone new is giving orders. The labs are running. The trucks are moving. The demand is waiting. One name off the list. The list never ends.
My name is Rodrigo Alejandro Fuentes Vidal. I am 47 years old. For 11 years, I was the personal physician of the man everyone knows as El Mencho, the top leader of the Hadith.
There you have it, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's just a little theory. This video, they say that they dragged him into a SUV, a convoy. But in the media, they said they tried to airlift him. So which one is it? Until they show us otherwise, I'm not believing it, y'all. Until they show us otherwise, I'm not believing it, y'all. I'm not believing it. My mom, I think Mencho's still alive. Or if not, they detaining him and they just want to make us believe he's dead. I think he's still alive. They still haven't even showed his funeral, bro. Where's the proof that he's dead? I don't think Mencho's dead. That's food for thought. That's Monday Night Raw with GT. Lunes con GT. I think they just making people read into it, then you get thrown into the cliffhanger. Where's the video footage to prove it? Because Mexico is known for doing that. They'll say that they killed him. And then they come out. And they would do that to all the narco singers in Mexico too. And they'll be like, oh, we killed them. And then they come out and they show their face. When they feel like they need to. Because mind you, Mexico is not like the United States. Motherfuckers don't want to have the fame. They don't want paparazzi in their face. Because that's how they become a target. All the actors, all the athletes over there, all the millionaires in Mexico, and they live a happily ever after, but you never see their face. It's not like America. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. But we already been on the stream for an hour. We backhanded the algorithm for a little bit.
room, they just trying to contest. The real GD5 do authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move. The presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the room, they just trying to contest. The real GD5 do authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move. The presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the room, they just trying to contest. The real GD5 do authentic, no facade. Built it from the dirt and now I'm walking like a god. They can copy every move. The presence, you can feel it in your chest. Stand from the mud, I ain't never been a guest. I'm the standard in the